Hello, students. Welcome to today's science lesson. We're going to be learning about Earth's movements in space. Okay, so when we look into the sky, you can see the sun is moving past, the stars are moving past. Every day, they go down, they come back up, and they move past. But is it really the stars and the sun which are moving in that direction? No, that movement just uh, appears like that because the Earth is spinning. Of course, you should all know this already. So yes, the Earth is spinning. Another word for that is rotating. So we can talk about Earth's rotation. Earth's rotation. Okay. So Earth is spinning around like this. Okay. So it's not spinning around like this, or kind of spinning crazily. It's spinning around an imaginary line through the middle. So we call that imaginary line an axis. Okay. So for example, if we got this this fruit and there we go. So now we have an axis. Okay. Spinning on its axis. Okay. Obviously the Earth doesn't have a real metal pole through the middle. It's imaginary. There you go. There you go. You got your spinning on our axis. Lovely. Right. So we've got the axis. Okay. So that splits it this way. But we've also got a line that runs round the outside. Okay. So this line. Oh, there we go. It splits it into two hemispheres. It's called the northern hemisphere. So that's like the top half of the planet, the northern hemisphere. Okay, so that's got countries in it like England or the United Kingdom, where I'm from. It's got Europe there. It's got uh, Russia and the United States of America. They're all in the northern hemisphere. Okay, and then you also have the southern hemisphere. So that's got South America, Australia, New Zealand. Okay. And then running around the middle, we have the equator. The equator. So it's just like a belt that you might wear. It just goes around the middle of the planet. Okay. So when the Earth is spinning, we have a light source, which is the sun, just aiming at one side. So if I can demonstrate that for you here, you see the light source on one side. And as it spins, one side is going to be in the light, and then it's going to go around behind, and it's going to be in the dark. Okay? So this, of course, is how we have day and night. Okay, great. All very easy so far. This is a thing that I want you to think about. Every time you celebrate your birthday, you're really celebrating one complete trip around the sun. I've lost my planet Earth. I'm afraid I've lost the planet Earth. Disaster. It's okay. Right. Ooh. So, yeah, every time it's your birthday, you're celebrating the fact that you've been once round the sun. How cool is that? So, I've been round the sun 29 times. I've almost been round the sun 30 times. Amazing. So, yeah, of course, we're talking about a year. So, a year happens when the Earth goes once around the sun. That's a year. We can call this a revolution. So I'll give you some sentences here. When you say revolution, let's make the sun's shining. There we go. Say a revolution. Revolution. So you could also say the earth revolves. Revolves. The earth revolves. The earth revolves around the sun. Yeah. In 1 year, the earth makes one revolution. Revolution. Great. Okay, so one revolution around the sun is 365.256 days. Okay. So, as you probably know, it's not exactly 365 days. So sometimes we add up a few bits of days. We have to put them into our calendar to make everything add up right. That's why you have leap years. Right. Okay, so I'm going to talk quickly about seasons. Seasons. So, anyone want to shout out these seasons? So we've got spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Now this could be a picture from England. It looks like this in England, and the seasons are very distinct. They're very different from each other. It's very different in spring as it is to summer, very different in summer to autumn. The temperature is very different. How everything looks around you is very different. Obviously, winter, you get snow, very different. Where we are in south of Vietnam, maybe the seasons aren't so clear. We still have different seasons, but maybe they're not so pronounced. They're not so obvious. Okay. So why do we have seasons? Why isn't it just the same all the time? Well, when we were talking about the axis going through Earth before, when it goes around the sun, it's not actually straight up like this. The Earth is a bit tipped over to the side. Okay, so it's tipped over at approximately 23.5 degrees. It's tipped over a bit as it spins. And what this causes, this lovely drawing here, you can see sometimes a bit of the Earth will get more sun than the other hemisphere. So at the moment here in this picture, the northern hemisphere is kind of leaning towards the sun. So it's going to get more sunlight, more radiant energy from the sun hitting the Earth and warming it up. So that's what summer is. Summer just means that your half of the planet is leaning more towards the sun. But obviously, when it goes around the other side, the northern hemisphere will be leaning away from the sun. So we'll go into winter. Seeing an astro. Oh, here we go. This little demonstration shows you. Okay. So yeah, as we said, when the northern hemisphere is leaning away from the sun, it's winter. And winter solstice is just the middle of winter. Okay, so it's it's where the nights are the longest. Okay, and then opposite to that we have the summer solstice. So this is in the northern hemisphere. So the northern hemisphere here is leaning towards the sun. So the summer solstice is where the days are longest. It's getting the most sun. Okay. Then we have the autumnal, which is autumn, and vernal, which is spring. Okay, great. Doing so much. This is great. Okay, so we have the summer is in the northern hemisphere is winter in the southern hemisphere. So when it's summer in England, then it's winter in Australia. And when it's winter in Australia, it's summer in England. Great. So that means if you're in New Zealand over Christmas time in December the 25th, it's not going to be cold or snowy. It's going to be hot. It's going to be in the middle of their summer. Very strange. Okay, so here's a little GIF of the Earth spinning around with its tilt on the axis. Okay, just to help you visualize it. Okay, so here's a question. And if we end up speaking later in the week, maybe we'll end up speaking on Zoom, who knows? If we do, then why don't you answer this question for me? What are the seasons like near the equator? Okay, the nearer you get to the equator, what are the seasons like? How does the temperature change across the year? And how is that different to countries that are far from the equator? Yeah, like Russia. Okay. And where is Vietnam? How is Hanoi in the north of Vietnam different to Saigon in the south? Okay, quickly, let's just look at the moon. I'm not going to talk very long about the moon because I'm going to send you some other work about the moon. But I'm sure you've all noticed that when you look at the moon in the sky, you don't always see the whole of the moon. You see like a crescent, and half, and nearly all of the moon and the whole moon. So this diagram here is just showing you the position of the moon as it orbits around the Earth and how that changes how we see the moon from Earth. Okay, great. So if you watched the end of the video, then thank you, because I think it's important. So well done. You get 10 points. 10 points for Gryffindor. Well done. Okay. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.